Not every course is out in the open, folks. We're here in the woods today. What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe.
I'm just kidding.
Like the video down below. We're here at Heritage Park today out in Flower Mound.
Brodie's feeling himself. The tank top is out.
No, it's summer in Texas, and it's called being smart and not having a lot of clothes on. If I could be naked right now, I would be.
Okay.
We are on
All right.
Heritage Park. This was actually designed out by Eric McCabe. Very nice course. We'll show you a couple holes that, unfortunately, they're putting a bike path through his course design, and so some of the holes are a little jacked up. It is what it is. Par 3, 351 to start off, and you can see we're going into the woods here, folks. We're gonna have woods on the left, woods on the right, so we might have a little bit more scrambling than normal. And some of these holes are a little drawn out, so we're gonna be taking fuller shots. We're not gonna be throwing those little up shots that we've been doing. We're advancing to the next level, getting a little bit harder, getting ready for Des Moines at the end of the month, folks.
Yeah, we were just talking about that on our run this morning.
A few weeks away from my very first tournament, so it should be fun. Hopefully get a good round in today and some good practice.
If anybody was wondering, the DOMS is real today. The delayed onset muscle soreness. My entire right side from trying to throw that ace
When do you
has
think your
been
next
completely.
When do you think your next attempt will be?
I need at least a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Our new favorite disc, the buzzsaw, the green one though.
I mean, first throw of the day.
I think actually we'll have a little putt there. Not sure who said it, but someone suggested that I turn the handle pointing towards the wheels. And I gotta tell you, very enjoyable experience, so thank you for the tip, sir.
Walk of shame into the woods.
Well, we're in the woods, unfortunately on the first hole, but I have a decent gap right here, so I should be able just to punch this out and
Please check yourself for ticks after
punch this out and make myself a par. All right, really awesome green because it is a little bit of a challenging first tee shot with that tunnel. The play is actually throw something straight so you end up on the right-hand side, but because just in your head you can't see the basket here and the basket's actually tucked left, a lot of people go more overstable and so their disc ends up fading and you can get caught back here. Luckily my upshot here hit a tree because that could have been
Oh my God.
That could have been a lot worse, and that could have been a lot worse too.
Gosh.
But cool little basket where everything on the left-hand side is pretty much dead. A fun little hole, not my favorite. You guys know I don't love par 3s to start, but all things considered, a really good par 3. Hole number 2, par 3, 258 feet. Very interesting hole. We got a very strong uphill to start and then it kind of levels off. The basket is sitting also on the edge of a cliff. So behind the basket is straight downhill. I've seen this played a couple different ways. If you go up the middle and you're left at all, it gets really scary if you go left because that's all cliff and that's really tough. The other play, more so you see it in the fall because the trees aren't nearly as tall and not as many limbs and leaves. You can shoot this gap right here with a big hyzer and then try to crash it in. I don't think I can birdie it that way. I feel pretty good about my shot, so we're just gonna try to lace a backhand putter up the middle gap and hopefully it doesn't fade out. I'm also gonna throw a little bit farther back off the tee pad, just give me a little bit better angle up into the fairway. You get a little too close, you gotta throw it kind of nose uppy. We're going that jawbreaker roach. That should be maybe 15, 20 feet right of the basket. Gonna be a death putt, but I hit the gap I was aiming for and that's all I really care about. Get up here. Ah, shoot. Been a little bit since I've been out to this course. Kind of forgot how much this actually kind of hooks left. So it's more of a zone, I think, versus the roach. The roach was just too straight. Because we're filming, I'm gonna try to run this and make it.
Oh my gosh.
But if this was a tournament situation, I'm probably laying this up because 3-putting is for real from here.
This is the death situation from the basket.
So these 3 trees are perfectly in line with the basket, so I actually don't have a good look at it. So I think I'm gonna play safe with a scuba. It might go in, it might not. It might slide all the way down to the bottom.
Oh First step.
Dang.
You
I
hit
thought
the
I
bas-
actually juiced it.
I know you hit the basket, but not dialed enough.
2 pars to start, not the greatest. This is an interesting one. You can get hot out here and go pretty low, and then you can also have a really bad day and shoot close to par. So it's one of those because of how, I don't know if I want to say fluky, but because of how challenging some of these tee shots are. If you execute the tee shot, it's almost a guaranteed birdie. And if you don't execute the tee shot, it's almost a guaranteed bogey. They have these swings on a lot of the holes out here, and it just depends on whether or not you're hitting your lines. Hole number 3 is another shorty, but pretty technical shot. They've got this one tree that leans right over into the fairway for this, kind of messes up your psyche a little bit, but the basket's going to be tucked to the left, so you do want to get something moving left quickly. I've also seen people that aren't a fan of that gap step out here and throw this this forehand turnovers gap. The more I feel comfortable with the backhand, the more that this looks like a backhand. I think we're gonna go like drone here. Actually, let's go that Buzz OS. I think that might actually be a good one. I normally tend to go in between like a zone and a Raptor, but the Raptor has a chance to go too deep, and then you really don't have a putt. In a zone, I really got to kind of get it going hard left early. So I think this might be, not this. This would have been a disaster, actually.
Gosh.
That's the flippy boy. I think this Buzz OS, we're going to give this a go. Just a longer zone shot. Throw it on hyzer the whole way. Kind of hyzer pushing. Hopefully it skips over there as well. And honestly, you can't throw it better than that. That was a great shot. We got our first good birdie look. You'll see a lot of these holes out here. Like I said, you hit the line, you have a birdie look. You don't hit the line, you don't. First 3 holes, just a little off. I mean, the second shot, actually, I feel pretty good about my second shot today. This is the wrong disc. Kind of forgot how much it was going left. First shot pulled it a little bit, but all in all, the game's feeling pretty good. And we're gonna go on to hole 3, 1 under, hole 4. Hole number 4 is another par 3, 336 feet. The water is now in play. We got a creek that kind of runs through this whole course, so that will be in play. If anything gets a little too squirrely. Really tough hole to attack down the middle. This is where, you know, some of the bigger arms you'll see out here will really start having an advantage over the rest of the field in the local tournaments, because the gap through the middle is definitely a tight one with some overgrowth coming in on the right-hand side. And you gotta throw something that's a hyzer pushing because the basket is up on a hill. I tend to go spike hyzer here and just clear all the trees and then just basically try to crash in on it. I think I'm gonna do that today as well, just mainly because I don't wanna get caught up on something early. Nuke OS on hyzer. If it basically covers that second tallest tree and gets over, then we're in a good spot. That's the one. And it hits rocks. That's how you know you're good. No trees, rocks, we're good.
You see it?
Not yet. You can kind of see how tricky this green is. Even some good shots will sometimes come up and hit in here and fall off. So you gotta check to see if you get a roller. I think I might have moved a little bit left more, so I'm gonna go up there and see if I am up there somewhere. I might be deep. Let me see.
You found it.
Yeah, unfortunate roll. Must have hit somewhere up in there, maybe a little long. Rolled all the way down here. Probably gonna have no real look at it either, especially with this tree that's decided to collapse right there. We're gonna give it a run though. Nope. Missed it left.
I told him to watch out for poison ivy. Didn't want to throw you off your game, but watch you get freaking poison ivy.
No, I'm just, I've been very blessed. Well, I guess that's a curse and a blessing, right? Like poison ivy does nothing to me, but fire ants will light my life up. Now, if you were to drop me on almost like any course, like even pro level courses too, and you said, hey, you're 1 under through 4, I would probably be in like a little bit of a freak out mode. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta snap out of it. I gotta start getting birdies. But the way that this course sets up, it really is like, I could end up birding 9 or 10 holes on the last stretch here and have a great round. You can't freak out, you can't press, because that's how this course eats you alive. You gotta just keep trying to throw good shots. That last hole, did I get boned? Probably, but it is what it is. Hole 5, par 3, dogleg right, 357 feet. I've had a really hard time getting forehand to this hole. I haven't really trusted my turnover backhand, but I feel like now my backhand is starting to get better and better. So I think I can trust it more. So we're gonna go with the get flippy. Ideally throw it flat, high, and then just have that slow drift to the right, because the basket is quite a ways to the right direction. Just gotta give it the space to get out there. Kind of like that. That is beautiful. That might go in. No, didn't hear chains, rats. Maybe another day. Sometimes I'm way off on my ace calls. I don't think I was way off here. I mean, for the disc to end up here, that thing must have been maybe a foot or two left, but probably chain height. That would have been a great one. What's your guys' takes on acing holes that are like blind shots? Do you think that's cooler? Like not being able to see it go in, but hearing it and then like the anticipation of whether or not you ace? Or do you like acing on holes that you see the whole way, it goes in the basket and you're good? I can tell you which one Janice likes.
Wow.
Throwback.
This is a really cool shot. Straight up the gut.
So after a couple challenging par threes, they kind of give you one here.
This does not look like Texas.
You can still get kind of freak and boned a little bit.
Okay, what are these?
Well, I was
gonna
say get freaky. I was gonna say get freaky, and then I said boned in the middle of freaky, and it just probably didn't work out well. But 219.
I think someone's bags and discs are up there.
Someone did get freaky boned, and they're over there.
Oh, okay. All right.
You want to be short left here. Anything right, it can go down into a waterfall. Left, obviously, you go into that tree. So short left. I like to play just a straight zone. Give myself a putt.
Lost it. You stepped right.
It's right by the basket.
Freaking camera.
Just zoom in on the basket. Zoom in on the basket.
I can't when you step right in front of it. Good job, Johannesburger.
Texas flip. See, and just like that, we're 3 under. This is the bike path that I was talking about earlier. That wasn't initially in Eric McCabe's course design. And, you know, I think he did a phenomenal job on the holes. Like those first couple holes, none of those were really affected by the bike path. But now we'll start seeing when they started putting in the holes, they had to keep in mind the bike path. And I think it made some of the holes a little wacky. So the back 9, we're not there yet, but it gets a little crazy, so stick around. We have made it to our first par 4.
I was right. We were on 6.
Yeah, so 3 under through 6, we're okay. First par 4 is hole 7, 423 feet. It plays a little bit longer than that because the direct line is not accessible. Now, I think in tournaments, I think this would be a really fun hole to kind of mess around with Mandos. Like final day, have a double Mando there.
Through those 2
force
trees
people
right
to have
there.
to throw like a flex forehand through there.
Oh my God.
I think that would be sick. Pretty much everyone I know plays this hole the same way. It just depends on how aggressive you want to be.
Up and over?
Yep. You can just kind of chip something up and over. I have gone super aggressive and I've had some putts for eagle at this one, but it does require you to kind of flip something up to flat. Since we don't really know what the wind's doing out there, it's very scary. I'm not gonna run out there. We had to run this morning. I'm tired. Don't ask. I'm not running out there to see the wind. I have thrown shots where it just turns over and it lands somewhere over there and you will never find it. It's in the middle of the woods. We're gonna just play this one safe, I think, with a Venom. Get something out there.
You think some of your discs that you've thrown in the past are still out there?
I think there's some discs of mine that are still out in the wilderness, yes. Maybe making a nice like otter's bed or something.
Otter's bed. I don't know if there's otters back here, honey.
There's otters in Texas. Yeah, we're not messing around with the height. We're not doing anything.
Hopefully that didn't end up in someone's backyard. Oh, I heard a fence.
Oh boy.
I heard fence.
That drifted more than I thought.
I heard fence.
I think it ricocheted off of it.
I heard fence.
I think we're okay. We're okay.
Lucky. Hit the fence.
That was extremely lucky.
Bounce back in.
There is less fence than fence over here.
Less fence than fence?
Yeah, like it so could have easily just cut right through. All right, let's see if we can make this, huh? Good backstop.
Is right there. Oh, brother.
Maybe. Hold, hold, hold. Oh. Good attempt. Good attempt. The light gray shirt is turning into a dark gray shirt.
Woohoo!
Birdie. Count it.
Hole 8.
We got a nice little turkey there. Birdie streak. Beautiful. And we just crossed 10,500 steps. Groovy.
Woohoo!
Hole 8, 423. We got a bunch of junk on the right, baseball on the left OB. The basket's sitting kind of just on the beginning of the hill. So if you do land up top, it is a little bit of a tricky downhill putt. The wind, it's tough to say what the wind's doing with that flag. Maybe a little headwind, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw that Venom because I feel like I have a good sense of how this thing's gonna...
That was a really weird sound that plane just made.
That was the plane that made that noise?
Yes.
It sounded like a truck stopping.
Yeah.
After throwing that last one, I mean, I almost was a really embarrassing shot because I kind of turned away like it was a good shot and it almost went OB. I think this thing drifts quite a bit. I was just saying, it feels like it's an overstable disc, so it's gonna resist the turn, but it's just gonna slowly drift left. It's not gonna like dig and get to the ground. So we're gonna aim this one fairly far out to the right on hyzer, and hopefully the thing just slowly drifts to the ground and hits the hillside and gives us a putt. Kind of like that. There comes the drift and into the basket. No, okay, it didn't drift enough, but should have it be a putt. I'm liking my timing. I'm liking the timing. It feels like the disc is coming out of my hand a little bit faster now. Feels like I'm getting a little bit more involved in my lower body. The one issue I was having a few videos ago with my knees, seems like that is kind of maintained or at least gone with some of the new exercises I'm working on to try to build up the muscles around my knee to allow me to kind of get a little bit more explosive. So we're getting there. Again, the goal is to qualify for USDGC. We're not trying to hit that right now. That's in October, folks. So we still have months to go before we even get there. So we're just slowly trying to build every so day. We're slowly trying to build every day. Get a little bit better.
1% better every day.
Get a little bit better every day, just like you, Janice. Throwing a good shot with the right disc equals a great result. And that is a hole that's like a real birdie, right? We're not messing around with these 230-foot shots. We're throwing a 400+ foot shot, OB left, trouble on the right. If you're short, your distance is off, tough putt being down there. That's a real fine shot, real fine hole. Hole number 9, I think this might be the first hole that's really impacted by this bike lane. You kind of have an idea of what was trying to happen here with this very tight flex line, but once you get down to the green, you'll see trying to throw that shot is very scary. So I normally go big top 25 forehand in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Over here and crash it in. One of my favorite greens on this course.
Okay, hold on, wait. We played with Jep from Duck Dynasty the other day, and his son-in-law. Yep. And you said that, and I don't think they knew you were being kind of facetious.
No, I was joking around saying it, and they're like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, you go top 25 forehand in the world, and they're like, oh, wow. And I was like, Janice, you have to let them know your sense of humor.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that. I'm living in La La Land over here. All right, we're sticking with it. The Venom's going well so far. I do want something to drift more to the right, crash in on those trees. Some up high, give it a chance.
If someone needs me to film their, where the heck?
Yeah, that might actually be the back door. I kind of swung it out a little bit wider, but the back door has a chance.
Or they're looking over here like, did a disc just land?
No, we're fine. Look how beautiful this green is. Really cool green complex. Oh, the mud is bad, Janice. You might want to stay on that side.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to get kind of freaky here.
Okay, don't jack up your knee.
Oh yeah.
Let me know when you find it.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
And it has that perfect line that I thought it did. Fill in the basket.
Okay.
Well, I'll go 3, 2, 1, and that lets you know I'm gonna throw it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I can see you.
Oh, you can see me even better.
Yeah.
Cash.
Woo!
Yeah. Rolling like a big shot. I do remember that there was this little path back here. If you go a little bit too wide, you can sneaky sometimes have a nice little line. And I did just that. And instead of crossing the Mississippi River, I'm gonna be smart and play it like an old man and cross here. Now we're on a true gettable par 4, 342. You can play it a couple ways. You can play it straight down the middle. If you land into that darker dirt, you'll just have a straight like 150-foot throw-in chance for your eagle. Or if you want to get crazy with it, you pop something out here and then you hope it just perfectly hits the line. We're throwing that venom really well. This is why it's like, don't change, but I do want something that is gonna be less likely to get away from me, and the Nuke OS will be a little bit more of an up and down guy versus something that can drift. If I miss my line, who knows where it'll go. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's some tall trees in the middle of the fairway. Sometimes you can hit those and drop and be like 60 feet. It sounded like it fought through those, so we might be pretty good here, boys.
And girls.
And shout out to all the female watchers. Appreciate you.
I mean, I'm watching. I'm filming.
So this was the dark dirt I was talking about, where you kind of land here. You have like, you know, an 80, 100-foot throw-in chance. But we went up and over. This is the tree that I heard it go through. And, you know, sometimes it can hit this and drop you here to have you, 40, 50 feet. But it sounded like it was fighting through. So I'm thinking, do you see it?
No.
Oh, I thought you were trolling me.
No, I just didn't want to like.
I thought you were trolling me and you were
wobble on top
I was
of
walking
this
away.
dirt and make everyone sick watching this.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh well, it could be all right. I am 6'5". That is the benefit. We were just a little deep, and now we're gonna have to call on the flexibility king. The flexibility king to see if I can make this work.
Bring out your inner gymnast, Janice.
If I can get here, that's perfect. The question is, can I? The answer is, it's tight. No, yes. Oh,
remind me to happen. Why did you say no?
Because it kind of slipped out of my hand a little bit. You can start seeing the sweat might start coming into an issue here. I don't know. Do I need to be in the sun? Can you see the sweat on my?
I can see it. I can see it. Wets me.
It's starting to slowly roll into the fingertips here. But that's an eagle. That gets one of our pars back. Make sure you hydrate out here, folks. It's hot. I think Kelsey, though, was right, though. She was talking about a couple holes back. We got to like hole 9 on this course today, and I was like, gosh, like we're flying today. And I don't think we're necessarily playing any faster than we normally would. We are starting to get way better endurance with these long runs we're doing with our strength training. When it's hot like this and we've played a couple holes, we're not nearly as tired as we used to be. Positives to both of us. Fitness, yay. Hole 11. This is a tricky one. If you know anyone that has a tomahawk, this is a beautiful hole.
Beautiful.
Beautiful hole to watch them perform it on. They just come out here, they launch it up and over the trees, it pans, double helixes, and drops in on the basket.
Ace.
This doesn't really have that great of a fairway. It's also extremely...
You can see the basket from the tee, which is kind of nice, but it's a bunch of gunk in
between.
If you
come out here...
No, I can literally see it.
No, but I'm saying if you come out here, you can see how the gap that looks like there's a gap, all of a sudden there's trees in the middle of the fairway. So as hard as that gap is to hit off the fairway, even if you do hit it, you can still hit something at the end and have nothing. I tend to try to go away from throwing up there, and I play this much trickier shot. Well, trickier in the sense of you don't see it when you first step on the tee pad. But if you got a big forehand, you come to the right side and you blast something over the sidewalk, and you do the same exact thing as we did 2 holes ago. You try to get something to crash in at the end and give yourself a putt. Worst case scenario, you're at least up by the basket, because if you try to go early here and you hit a tree, Janice, the chance of getting par is like slim to none.
God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt. Okay. You don't have your chalk bag?
No, I get you. You had it. I forgot to put it back. All right, here we go. I need a little more chalk in this region. I think I just screwed myself. Hold on. All right, there we go. I threw it perfectly, though.
I've lost it.
I threw it perfectly. Come on in. Look at the basket.
I can't see the basket because you're standing.
Oh! I almost blew up the basket again. That would have been a top ace if I would have got that one. That
wouldn't have been on film because you just.
But you would have heard it.
Maybe.
And it would have blown up the basket.
Maybe not. And if I didn't hear it, it didn't happen.
Half the change wouldn't even be on the basket, Janice. It was coming in so fast, it would have blown it up. Might have been off a little bit, maybe a little AMIs. I thought that had a chance to blow up.
This is crazy.
I thought that had a chance to blow up the basket. Turns out I'm like 10, 15 feet short.
This looks like North Carolina over here.
Yeah, I don't even know what is this lava rocks? What is this?
I have no idea, but this is like a crazy hole. Like,
this is one of my
flow
courses that I have to, like, it's a must play. If you come to Dallas and you're looking for something, go play a bunch of the other courses and then come here because it is a completely different experience. We keep the birdie train going. So I want everyone to learn something, including myself. You go back several holes and I am 1 under after 4 holes. I haven't thrown that many bad shots. I've just gotten a little bit of unfortunate kicks here and there or missed my line by a little bit. And instead of pressing, instead of freaking out, instead of thinking my tournament's over, my round's over, I keep just plugging away, knowing that birdies will come if I throw good shots. We haven't taken a par since. I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Don't jinx yourself.
Well, at this point, I don't really care if I'm jinxing. I'm trying to make a point. The point is, your round's never over. No matter how it starts, you can always have time to get your round going. And we're gonna keep the round hopefully going in the right direction here on hole number 12. Par 3, 267. You've got 2 ways to attack this. I have seen some people throw turnover forehand down the right. I have seen people throw a flex backhand down the left. I prefer more of a flat backhand down the left that then fades before those trees. Gets me to the bottom of the hill with a putt uphill. Another phenomenal green complex. I've played a couple tournaments out here. I've seen some people really lose the tournament on this green. Just, you'll see when you go. You could just putt back and forth all day. Janice might be here for 30 minutes just putting back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Easy to do. So we're gonna go, I think, maybe a soft Raptor. I don't think I can get there all the way to where I wanna go with the zone, but if I throw this hard, it's gonna get to the back wall. So we just gotta hit the line.
More dirt.
But I gotta throw it soft enough so it's going to get left. Just like throwing it to the boys. Oh, it's early left, and that's good. Oh, what a kick.
Oh my gosh.
And that makes up for a couple of the terrible shots we had early that got boned. That was an insane kick. Probably saved me at least 1 shot. If you go left there, you were absolutely cooked. We're all friends here, right, Janice? We're all friends. We're one big community. Everyone's trying to help each other out.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys can help me out here. One thing I struggle with is those powered down backhands. When it comes to throwing full speed, right, a full speed shot, I'm not actually actively releasing the disc from my hand. It's getting ripped out of my hand. So the timing of that is completely different because I'm not having to think about throwing the disc. I'm just whipping it and the power is ripping it out of my hand.
Is that why I hear like a...
So when you hear this,
Ew.
Sorry, my hands are, I mean,
Ew.
it's heritage. Yes, the snapping, a lot of people think snapping is like, oh, those guys are throwing so hard. Really what the snapping is, it's just the size of their hands. Certain people, if they can make that noise, if they can make, see, I don't have it, but certain people, their fingers and their hand length.
Like if they were like flipping a dip can or something.
Their fingers and their hand length are so, in such a way where they can actually make a noise. So all you're hearing is as the disc rips out of their hand, their fingers are slapping into their thing. Everyone does it. It's just some people make noise and some people don't based on the hand size.
Snap.
So if you don't have snap in disc golf, don't worry about it. Some of the people that throw the farthest don't have snap. It's just a hand thing. But my question is, when I'm throwing that shot, right, I'm powering down. I'm not having the disc rip out of my hand. I'm actually having to actively throw. I tend to really struggle with that. So if you do have any tips for me, anything that I can think of to maybe help me on that,
throw it to the boys.
That would be super helpful because
tips.
I definitely struggle with powering down on some of those shots, even like up shots with like putters and stuff. On the back forehand side, I'm fine. Backhand side, I struggle.
Well, that shirt is now a napkin.
That's gonna have to go straight into the wash when we get home.
I mean, look at this though. If you haven't been out here,
that's where I would have been done. I would have been coast.
that's 30 feet down that way. This is 40 feet down that way. I mean, it's just a straight drop off.
It's a wild course.
There's a drop off right here too.
That thing is on top of a peak hill.
Like
it's very crazy green complex. The softest of softest touches, Janice. Oh, it's got a little heat. Sit. No.
Oh, you're lucky.
Oh my gosh.
You're freaking lucky.
Oh my gosh, that's a butt clencher right there.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
You need to put this behind a paywall.
Oh my goodness, that's so scary.
With that type of content right there. I can't believe I zoomed in on that.
You can see how quickly you can end up going back and forth like a tennis match, right? You're just putting, miss air ball, putt, miss air ball, putt, miss air. And then all of a sudden you're just like,
screw this hole.
Yeah, see you later. All right, I'm okay saving par there. That was very lucky though. That could have been, I mean, honestly, 2 really good kicks on that hole, Janice. 2 really fortunate kicks. I'm probably out of fortunate kicks for the rest of the round, so we gotta start throwing good shots again.
It's like my freaking Stanley over.
This is a sweet hole to get. Hole 13, par 3, 243. Couple trees in the way. Not really a designated fairway. You know, a lot of people, I think they try to just chuck it at that tree, and if they miss left, miss right, they'll get a putt. I think that is probably, I sometimes go like forehand flip up. But again, I really am trying to grind and throw the right throw. I think the right throw here is a backhand putter. So I'm thinking zone, backhand, have it fade just before that tall tree.
This hole is giving very Twilight coded.
Oh, what?
Twilight coded.
I didn't even know that song.
I didn't do it very well, so.
Oh, okay.
Not a singer, I'm a dancer, all right? Need a towel. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, up by the basket. That felt more committed. I don't know what I did differently because I didn't throw that full power, but that one felt more committed, like hitting my lines. I need to figure out what I did.
Throw it to the boys.
Throw it to the boys. I said, you know you're hot when you're dripping from your hat.
Your hat's dripping?
Like sweat's dripping off of my hat.
Do you have a gap right there?
I do. I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice though. I mean, I really need a towel. This thing is just soaking wet.
Whew.
Round the outside, round the outside. This is why I love Heritage. This is Janice's first time coming out here. She's standing back here because she thinks the hole is going this way.
Oh no.
When in fact, we're actually going that way.
Oh.
That's how you know you're at Heritage. When you step on the tee pad, you don't even know what direction you're playing.
Whoopsies.
Hole 14, par 3, 231. We got baseball fields on the left. We got planes, airports nearby. Only way to attack this hole is over the top. No way to get there going low. So you either have to play the forehand up and over.
Top 25.
Or you play the backhand up and over. Both have actually been working pretty good today. I'm liking the backhand, more of a straight up, straight down kind of shot. So we're gonna try that today. Going cap wrap.
Too far left, you
No,
think?
it's way over there. I really wanted to hear chains. That would have been glorious if I heard chains there. One of these days, Janice is gonna be like, that shot's way bad. And then it's gonna be chains. I'm just gonna
Stare into the camera.
stare deep into the camera.
I think it's in the baseball field.
Okay, it was left, but I don't know if you can constitute that as too far left.
I told them that I thought it was in the baseball field.
You thought it was in the baseball field?
Yeah, 100%. Look at the guys, the little kids playing baseball. Oh, that's so cute. These little kids are freaking tossing that thing. My goodness. Yeet. Good job, Janice. These little kids back here are athletic.
Yeah, these kids are nasty.
Traveling team?
Has to. All right, this hole probably got the most messed up by the bike path. You can see it kind of runs down the right-hand side. It does play OB. You have the street left, which is also OB. There's no way of getting to the basket up the middle. If you go way out here, there's just not a disc flight that actually can make that. So again, the only way to attack this is if you have a tomahawk, which I'm not throwing my shoulder out, or you have this spike hyzer forehand. So that's what we're doing.
The lioness grabs his prey.
Yeah, it should be like 10 feet. Even if you get through this gap right here, this is what you have left to make it through to the basket. There might be some people that are like, hey man, stop throwing over the top, that you're not working on hitting gaps. Well, I'm working on trying to make birdies, guys. I mean, there's just no disc that can possibly fly this route. So you have to go over the top. A little further left than I thought. Actually kind of close to the road a little bit. No!
Ooh.
First bad swing of the day. I felt it out of the hand. That's unfortunate. Putting's been pretty good. That was really the first loose putt. Rats. Tough par there, but we move forward. Hole 16, par 3, 255. It is a severe dogleg to the right. So it's one that is a little bit tricky with distance control because if you do press forward, you won't have a putt. I like to go either something skippy, get to the ground, or throw like a pushing hyzer, like zone. Either go high speed with the skip or a pushing hyzer zone. I think we're gonna stick with the pushing hyzer zone just to eliminate the ground play. You sometimes can hit one of these rocks or whatever and you throw a good shot and you don't get up there. So we're just gonna try to, you know, push the ceiling a little bit because it does need to drift quite a bit to the right. I hit a late tree, and you'll kind of see one of the reasons why I don't love this hole is when you have a blind shot around the corner like this and there's just trees all over the fairway. It's not really disc golf, it's kind of just poke and pray, and you'll see that when we get up there. So now we've kind of made it around the corner, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. These 5 trees right here, you can kind of barely see these off the tee, but these 3 you can't at all. You know, these last 2 kind of can get in the way too, so this is one where I think if you had the ability of planting trees, what I would do is I would just plant a bunch of trees all right here. So that way, if anyone goes early on the inside, they get, you know, stymied behind them, and it forces you to go to wide. And then if your distance is off, you're in these bushes. But having the trees kind of just randomly like this, someone might throw a really great shot and hit this tree and bounce over there. And I hit a tree and ended up being, you know, pretty good. Just blind shots, trees in the fairway aren't my favorite hole design, but unfortunately, a lot of these courses, you can't, you know, remove trees, you can't plant trees. You just got to make courses the best you can with what you got.
Nature.
All right, we got to reassess where we at because I don't know what my best score is out here, but I think I might be getting kind of near it because I feel like I'm playing decent today. I'll get an assessment of where we're at on the next hole and see what our game plan is. Hole number 17, par 4, drivable, 384. I love this type of drivable par 4. 2 reasons. 1, if you throw a great shot, you will have a chance to eagle it. If you throw a bad shot, I've seen people take 5s, I've seen people take 6s because the woods on this hole are absolutely brutal. Also, as you can tell, there is a little bit of an elevation change. The hole itself is pretty flat, but the first 50 to 60 feet is uphill. So it does force you to throw a little bit nose up. And when you step on this hole, you never think in your head you're ever going to hit that rock until you hit that rock, and it is very embarrassing.
I would hit that rock.
So try not to hit the rock. We are 12 under, guys, with 2 holes to go. We have an eagleable par 4 here. Hole 18 is also eagleable. A lot harder to eagle, but it is eagleable. So we could theoretically have a 16 under round on our hands. I think we have to go for it. So I'm not playing safe for birdie. We are going all in here and trying to get up there and make this eagle. Vulture.
Great shot.
I turned it over too much. Eagle's out of the question, but it should be an easy birdie.
You see it?
Yeah, we're in the fairway.
Oh, nice.
It cut rolled back a few degrees off from being really good, but you gotta be so precise throwing that uphill. All right, let's see if we can get this one somewhat by the basket. Give it a chance. No, it's so fluffy. That right there is definitely the worst part of my game. That is clearly the worst part of my game. That should be like within 3 feet of the basket. And I mean, sometimes it just doesn't even get close. Got to figure that out. Maybe it's time to put an Ultra Star back in the bag, boys.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness, that was a gap.
There's a little gap there.
Hole
13
18.
under, going into hole 18. 15 under is still on the table. Would absolutely love that. All business. Hole 18, par 4. It says 318. No shot at plays 318. Takes a full-on nuke. I have gone over the top. Very scary. We're not messing around with that today. We're gonna blast something as hard as we possibly can up this gap and see if we give ourselves a putt. One good throw is all we need to finish out this round.
Oh no, first
And that
available.
is gonna be a very tough up and down for the birdie.
Got a tough lie there, Janice.
Yeah, definitely gonna flip it. Oh, I do have a gap though. I do have a gap. We ain't dead yet, folks. We ain't dead yet.
I'm gonna go up there, okay?
Okay.
Oh! Sick shot, brother!
What?
Sick shot, brother! Good job, babe. If anybody's wondering, this is not poison ivy. What?
Took me a second to figure that.
No, it's definitely not poison ivy, but it does mimic poison
Figure
ivy.
out that line.
It doesn't have the red in the center right there, in between its leaf. And there's no 3 leaves.
Well, folks, that is Heritage Park. Probably would suggest leave the cart at home. A lot of hills, a lot of rocks, a lot of pulling, but that is gonna end us 14 under par after starting 1 under through 4. You're never out of it. Keep fighting, keep grinding, and keep slinging them discs.